Hello everyone, I'm Allison with Green Goddess Plants and Seeds, and welcome to another garden chat. It's been a little while since my last video. We've just been busy doing stuff, but I just wanted to show you what we're doing today. We're going to be planting up the rest of my pepper seeds, and I just wanted to show you what was actually happening with the ones that I planted earlier. So these ones here that are doing mighty fine are the orange habaneros, and so far the only ones that have actually come up and emerged above the soil line. The rest of them are just kind of nowhere to be seen, which is unfortunate. This last seed pack here, these are actually ground cherries. I got some for Valentine's Day from Glenn. He gave me a packet of Aunt Molly's ground cherries, so those are actually looking not too bad. I'm impressed with that. So, and this is our cat Banana. And she's doing her duty, you know, helping to keep the rest of the baggy method pepper seeds at a nice toasty warm temperature. So yes, cats love to help. So let's continue on, and we're going to plant some seeds today. Okay, so we're here in the kitchen again, out at the farm, and so I'm doing a few things today, or a couple of things. I'm planting onions. We're getting our onions going. It's one of the things that we wanted to add to the market garden this summer. And then I'm also going to be planting the rest of my peppers, my pepper seeds, like the sweet peppers and that. So I'm going to start with the onions. So I've got 3 different types of onions. We've got the Walla Walla, we got some North Star, and we got some red Weathersfield for onions. So we're going to give those all a go. So we haven't had experience growing onions. My experience hasn't been that successful. I've tried in the past. So we spent some time watching a few videos on YouTube on how to grow onions. We watched several of them, which was great. It gave us some ideas of where to start. But one of the things that I noted was, well, they gave you lots of planting techniques and seeding techniques. None of them talked about pest management, which kind of worried me and left me wondering why. Because I know my grandmother used to grow onions, and she always talked about onion maggot and trying to control onion maggot, and she would always put coffee grounds in with her onions when she planted them out. So I don't know, I actually had to do a specific search on controlling onion maggots. So even then, there wasn't a lot of information that came up. So it's almost as if no one wants to talk about pest management for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know why it's like a contentious issue, but I mean, lots of people have different opinions and how to do that and how to go about that, and every gardener is going to have their own method. But every garden and every gardener should have something in place to control, pests and diseases, because they're going to happen, right? So I don't know why it's so hard to find information like that. So anyway, so I'm going to get started on the Walla Walla. So my tray is all ready to go. My soil was prepped. I moistened it down. I mixed in my cinnamon, my ground cinnamon, so it's all ready to go. And as I've said before, I use cinnamon to help control fungal diseases on my seedlings. So it's all ready to go. And there's Shits. Hey Shits, you gonna help? Anyway, so after watching several videos, we decided to come up with, use a couple of different ideas. So one of the ones that we came across that we thought would work for us was to multi-sow in each cell. So I'm going to put 6 to 8 seeds in each cell. Let's see, there's 2, 4, 6, and 8. Now, the idea behind this is that we will plant out the whole cell, the whole plug, in the ground when it's ready to go out into the ground. And then what we'll do is, Jets, Yes, he's trying to help. Anyway, then what we'll do is, as we thin them, those thinnings can then be used as green onion, either used or sold as green onions or spring onions. So as we thin them, we eventually thin them down to 1 or 2, plants per spot kind of thing, and then they'll eventually get big over time. So that's the idea that we're going with the multi-sowing, is that the thinnings can then be used as the spring onions kind of thing. That's the idea that we came across online after watching several videos. So I'm just going to do this real quickly here. So this is the onion seed. It's actually not too bad in terms of size. I've handled smaller seed. I don't know if you've ever grown petunias from seed or pansies from seed. Like, they are almost like dust. So there we go. A couple more. And there's our start of our onions. So I know the latest thing that I've seen online is concerning growing zones and start dates and stuff like that. I mean, it's only part of how to get going with your garden and when to seed. Like, planting dates are all good. Seeding dates, 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. And like I said, that's only part of it. You really have to be aware of the seasons in your area and, how long your growing season is. I mean, typically our average last frost date is the last weekend in May. We have had frost later than that. But we can also have frost as early as late August. So our growing season is extremely short, or it can be extremely short. So taking that into consideration, I have always opted to start certain things far earlier than the calculated 6 to 8 weeks that they require. So such as the onions, the hot peppers, like the only ones that have actually emerged above the soil, like most of these were started like second week of February, and the only sign of life I've got out of these is the orange habaneros. If I didn't start them that early, there's no way we would even get any kind of harvest from them at all. Tomatoes, I wait till about mid-March because some people might even say that's a bit early, but I want plants for my plant sale, so they have to be big enough and ready for sale that, second or third week of May is when I have my plant sale, so they have to be ready for then. And so when people are starting gardening, it really pays to, if you can find someone who can mentor you and that they are willing to pass on their wisdom and their tips and their secrets, because going by the seed packets and what everyone is saying about seed starting dates and 6 to 8 weeks and yada yada yada, that's great, that's a starting point, but nothing can really compare to the experience and the knowledge of knowing, okay, my growing season is actually quite short, so I'm going to start things a little earlier than what normally they would be started, just because I know they need that extra time. So that's just my 2 bits on this. Everyone seems to be obsessed with growing zones and start dates and everything else like that. So that's just kind of my own garden wisdom. So I'm going to finish doing this tray, and then we are going to move on to the peppers. Okay, so I've finished seeding the tray, so I'm just going to cover them lightly with a bit of soil. You don't want it to be too thick or too heavy, and then we'll give them a good drink. And then they'll go into the living room and into the sunny window. Okay, I'm just going to give these a drink. Now, in addition to mixing cinnamon into the soil, I have actually made a cinnamon tea, sort of. Basically, it's hot water and a couple of cinnamon sticks. And then what I usually do is I brew it up, and then I'll let it sit overnight so it's nice and strong. And then I'll use this water to water my seedlings with, and that also helps control, the fungus and the damping off disease and that kind of thing. So that's another way that I use cinnamon as a natural control for fungal diseases on my seedlings. Okay, so moving on to the peppers. So I'm doing sweet peppers today. So I'm not doing the baggy method. Like I said earlier, I'm not totally sure I'm sold on the baggy method. But sweet peppers usually germinate faster than the hot ones, so it really shouldn't be necessary. But so today I've got several varieties of peppers. We're doing lots of bells because bell peppers are popular. So I've got California Wonder. I've got King of the North. I've got Canary Bell. I've got some Habanada. We're going to try those this year, the heatless habaneros, see how well they do. I've got some Purple Star. We grew these last year. They were really unique looking bell pepper, nice deep dark purple color. I've got Tangerine Dream. And then we've got Orange Bells, which are my personal favorite, are the Orange Bells. Here, it's the Baker Creek has a nice photo. So Orange Bells. We are also doing the sweet chocolate. Now this is the one that I noticed was sold out at a lot of places. I don't know why. I don't know what's up with the sweet chocolate pepper. It must be trending or something, but we got some of those. We're going to be growing those. And we got some Shishito. We didn't grow them last year, but we grew them the year before, and we actually had a pretty decent harvest off of them. We've got Pippin's Golden Honey. And last but not least, the Corbaci. Now, I've grown this before, and they are quite prolific. But I'd like to try and actually do more with them this year. Like when I grew them, I just didn't have time to even work with them or cook with them. We just ended up drying them. So I'd like to actually cook with these more and see what they're actually like. They're supposed to be really good for frying. So that might be an option when we're making our stir fry, to throw some of these in there. So that's what we got going. That's what I'm going to start today. So I'm going to start with the California Wonder. A nice good reliable bell pepper. So now again, I'm going to be multi-sowing these into the seed pack so that it conserves on space. Like I said, we don't have a lot of space in the living room right now because the greenhouse is not set up. It's been too cold to even try and heat it right now. But hopefully, hopefully since March is just a few days away, the temperature will start moderating and we can actually start trying to heat it and create it as a space to put these plant trays. Because they're once they start getting into starting the tomatoes, we're going to have a lot of trays. Right now with the seedlings, we can kind of keep it under control, but once they're ready to be transplanted, then it expands out that much farther, right? When you start pulling these things out and transplanting individual plants, it takes up a lot of space. So here goes. We're going to go 2, 4. Go 6 in that one, and we're going to go 2, 4, 6. There's a dozen, and we're going to do another 6, 2, 4, and 6. There we go. And then that way I'll have lots. We'll have lots for the garden and also lots for my plant sale in the spring. So I'm hoping to have a good sale this year. I'm hoping to have it both in Saskatoon and in Middle Lake. So Saskatoon, probably be the weekend before the May long weekend. And then the plant sale here in Middle Lake will probably be the weekend of the long weekend in May. So just because, you know, with logistics, I got to transport everything to and from Saskatoon. So, but anyway, there we go. Some California Wonder. We'll put a little bit of soil on top of those. We'll put a tag in. Actually, I only did one tag. I'm going to have to do up a couple more tags. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing today. That's what I'm spending my day off doing, is getting my hands dirty and into some soil. I'm so glad you could join me. I hope you're having a great week. Hoping you're looking forward to the weekend. I sadly have to work all weekend long, but oh well. You do what you have to do to keep going, right? So anyway, the sun's shining and I think the temperature's moderating a bit, so I might go out for a walk later. So I wish you a good weekend and a happy Friday. And until next time, take care.